Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Norway in the Pillage the World campaign. Current objective is to continue to pillage people as much as possible, keep my ships alive, as well as just to generally do damage to everyone on the map that I can. I'm not currently at war with Egypt or Dido. I am considering a war against Egypt to maybe take over Rakadeth and Nechen and Ilchin. I'm also considering grabbing Le Pourquoi. I don't know how to pronounce. Like, none of these cities have any vowels in them except for, I don't know, Ainuk and Tyre. I think that's because the Phoenician language didn't have vowels, and it was kind of, you just had to know what the vowels were, how to pronounce them. But yeah, I think my biggest targets this era are going to be Canada, as well as Simon Bolivar, because those guys are doing the best out of all the AI, and so I need to overtake them. In terms of our technological progression, I feel like I want to get to industrialization, steam power, and electricity and all that sort of stuff down here to be able to take advantage of, especially getting towards flight. However, early flight does mean that I need oil, but I can kind of skip oil by going straight for advanced flight. It'll be hard and slow to research it, but it means I can use any aluminium that I have picked up to actually build my air force. So with all of that said, I think I'm going to get to work on industrialization because that's going to give me access to coal as well as the ability to get factories and stuff like that. And I think a factory or two in and around here would actually be very good if I could get them online. In terms of our civic advancement, I think my main goal is to get to nationalism and then colonialism to make my fishing boats even better, as well as to pick up the ability to combine my ships together. Alright, we're taking a little bit of damage from different people, and the forest fire is spreading. Oh my, yes. So that'll eventually start to produce a ton of food and production for us as this little forest fire spreads. You can see here, this is just a truly beautiful tile right here. Now, I just got the boost for steel, which is a little bit confusing to me because I built a mine right here, which I think means there might be coal here. I'm a little bit confused by that because I didn't know you could actually get those before you've actually unlocked the thing. So that's kind of baffling, not really sure what to make of that. Also, I think it's about time that I got a harbor in Memphis, and I also need to get a builder in here to get this iron improved. Although, I guess the time of the Berserker has really passed, which makes me sad because it was one of the units that I really wanted to make use of this game. I'm also kind of running out of things for my builders to improve. I guess I'll kind of run this one all the way over to Varakarwa to be able to improve these things. I have no idea how to pronounce this city's name. Good God. Fakarawerawa. Jesus. I shan't be able to kill this swordsman without any trouble. Really? That's very surprising that he survived. Not a big deal. I do have enough boats in the area to actually keep condemning heretics, and maybe I can get a pillage or two off on these coastal tiles as well. I could also steal the city and raise it, but I think it's better off if I just don't and instead look for easy coastal raids to pick up some extra science, culture, and gold. I could, however, steal Pesh, because I do have 3 ships, 3 caravels in the area that could do a lot of damage to it. However, I would need a sustained supply of them to replace these guys as they got wounded. And the question is it more valuable for me to actually try to pillage all of that, or is it more valuable for me to just capture this city? That's a question. Should I go pillaging or should I capture the city? And I think capturing the city would be pretty valuable. So I might send any of my caravels that are laying around doing nothing over there to help out. I'm super happy that I'm still finding things to pillage over here. Look at that science and the gold just pumping out from the pillaging of the Grand Colombians here. In fact, I'm going to be able to double pillage his campus there to pick up nearly 300 science in a single turn. And also start pillaging these holy sites over here. I will take a little bit of time to heal up on these guys. Although the fact that I have 0 coal means that this guy can't actually heal until I actually have a surplus. So that's kind of annoying. But goddamn, there is a +5 harbor here in Papayan, so I want to get that online as soon as possible. The hard thing is going to be getting growth and production in here, but I can improve these tiles, these fishing tiles, which will be pretty damn nice as well. Lovely theater square pillage to finish humanism. 159 culture from a pillage. It's kind of ridiculous. It's a little bit ridiculous, not gonna lie. It's kind of insane what you can do with these. The Maori are denouncing me, which is totally fine because I did steal their cities and do lots of really mean things to them. But they're just gonna have to keep being sad because I don't really care that much. Let us kill this swordsman, as well as continue to pillage this delicious coastline over here. Oh my god, it's actually insane. There's a little bit of a barbarian vessel over here. It's going to cause me an issue. However, if I do attack it, I will get a promotion on my boat, which I like, because it'll bring it up to a 2 promotion caravel. Oh my god, I can double pillage? Oh, the extra movement is so good. I'm so happy that I built that great lighthouse. I didn't even know that you could double pillage with a unit if you had enough movement. That's insane. That actually makes them even better, and in fact, it makes the Great Lighthouse even better for Norway. Alrighty, so I have some ships coming in to reinforce in the next couple of turns, so I think it's safe to start hitting Pesh. And you can see here, we've already taken down nearly, I would say, that was just under 40% of the city's health, or just over 40%. So that's a pretty damn good start to that battle. Continuing to pillage the Grand Colombian coastline, just basically trying to do damage to their economy as well as get any value that I can. For example, this little plantation in here is ripe for the pillaging. I'm also going to pillage any of their workships as well, just to try to hurt their economy. Again, I want to reduce the ability of my AI opponents to be able to resist me by hurting their economy as much as possible. So we shall just pillage everything to make everything they're working just worse, forcing them to put time and effort into repairing it. Now, the best way for this guy to get a heal is to actually pillage fishing boats, because I can't heal him any other way because I don't actually have a surplus of coal. And get those fishing boats online in Poppyam. We are working a lot of low value tiles in here, in particular these 2 food, 1 gold coastal tiles and the 2 food tile here. So I need to try to find more things that I could work. Working the harbor is just strictly worse because it's 1 less food but 1 more gold. I think that'll be alleviated if I can get a shipyard in here, which I can. That's +4 production. Oh, it's not a very good shipyard because it's only a +2 harbor because I don't have my commercial hub placed yet. But if I get this shipyard, it makes those coastal tiles a little bit better. They're 2 food, 1 production, 1 gold, which I think justifies buying another one, unless how long is it going to take you for you to grow? You'll grow in 4 turns. Yeah, I'll just let you grow naturally. That's fine. But the shipyard in here is going to really help out the productivity. I think I am going to just start throwing down batis or baities on tiles that I don't have anything that I could really do something valuable on, because +3 culture is really, really valuable in terms of like productivity, especially because it has +2 food on that tile as well. If you think about working like a cultural specialist slot in a theater square, it would be just +2 culture, whereas this has the added effect of an extra 2 food and a culture on top of that. So this is just strictly better. Taking a little bit of damage. It looks like they're also fighting Antioch. I'm kind of tempted to levy Antioch's army. How much would that be? It would be 630 gold, but if I can pillage a little bit of money, I think I could do that no problem. Now, the problem here is I could hit this city again, but I'm likely to lose a unit. But I'm okay with losing a unit here, because it'll mean that the city is now low enough for me to attack next turn with the reinforcing caravels that I have. Similarly, over here, I'm running into a little bit of health issues, so it might be a good idea to try to deal with this guy as well. Or maybe if I position myself very carefully, I can get some pillages for health. The hard thing is there's not really a whole lot of stuff that I can pillage around here for health, but I can at the very least pillage this dam and get a bit of health out of it. Ooh, I can pillage the farm here for the heal, which is perfect. There's not much else I could pillage here except for that government plaza, so I guess I'll swing around and grab that, because that is worth culture at the very least, which will help me along in my endeavors. Let's keep ripping up the terrain in the Grand Colombian Empire, like over here. Get a little bit of culture, a little bit of faith. And I'll also keep pillaging their farms and stuff, even if I don't get a huge amount of like personal value out of that. The fact that it does damage to their economy is really good for me. Also, I just picked up frigates, but I don't have enough niter just yet. Now, I did do a search for niter last round, and I only really found one inside my empire, which was a little bit disappointing. But if I can grab Pesh, I'll be able to get my hands on another niter source, which will mean I'll be able to upgrade this guy into a frigate quite a bit sooner. And frigates are going to be an important part of what I want to do going forward, because they act as a fantastic... So I can actually take some of these Canadian cities as well. That's something to consider here. I could take St. John and maybe Winnipeg for myself. And then if I maybe settled a city here or took over this Phoenician city as well, maybe settled up here and stuff like that, took a few cities. Yeah, I feel like I could take a few cities from the AI here and not completely kill them, but do significant damage to their empires. Again, I'm trading with Tromso for the +4 food, +4 production. I could trade for gold. I could do that, but the danger is that these trade routes are very vulnerable to other players attacking them. So, I mean, it is a lot of gold. I think the vulnerability bothers me too much, and I'll just worry about getting my gold from other sources, so I'll continue to trade internally. China wants peace, and I don't have any plans to do anything to them for 10 turns, but I'm going to refuse it this turn, so I can have a look at their coastline to see if they've done repairs, because it might be worth sending some more ships over here. I have a couple in position here that I could sort of swing up their direction and do a bit of pillaging on their coastline. In fact, that's probably not a terrible idea to grab a couple of these extra stragglers, because I can also get some serious hits on some of these swordsmen as they try to invade Antioch. I love that they have built these lumber mills for me, because they're worth gold to pillage. A coastal... Oh, I should have just done a regular pillage, because coastal raids actually use up all of your movement. I didn't realize that there was a difference between a regular pillage and a coastal raid in terms of how it influenced your movement. But now that I know that, that's going to change how I operate going forward. Thankfully, I didn't actually lose any of my caravels in this attack, so that's good news, and I'll be able to pull them back to heal, and then reinforce with these 3 caravels to hopefully finish the city off. There we go, it now belongs to me. I didn't get the builder with that city, but I will be keeping this city, and I'll be immediately purchasing myself a builder in here, and then buying that niter tile, because that is my #1 priority at the moment. Managed to corral a caravel here, though I'm a little bit dubious about getting this kill, but I'll take the kill because I do have a promotion and these guys should perhaps survive here. I don't know. I might lose one of them, but that's okay. I'll trade 1 for 1 here and continue to pillage. Oh my god, the value pillaging. The Mare have rebuilt quite a bit to the point where I'd like to get a couple of caravels over here just to sweep through and do a bit more pillaging. Trying to find where my second caravel is going to come from. Probably from down here, this group that's all repairing. You can see they're trying to hit my boats with crossbowmen, but crossbowmen don't do a huge amount of damage to boats due to just the way that boats work. They have a negative penalty towards attacking boats. I think that's for all ranged class units, not just crossbowmen. So I'm in a very good position to keep my troops alive and escape quite happily. Right, time for that niter to come online. Now that's going to double the rate at which I can produce the frigate, which makes me very happy. More frigates means I can touch deeper into people's territory and actually maybe take some of their cities if I felt like it. Also, I think it's a good time to do a bit of coastal raiding. Although I do need to get rid of that guy, I will, for now, forgo it in favor of looking at Hungary's coastline like it is a 4-course meal. Oh my god! A free... Maori, let us declare a formal war. Thank you. I don't know why they just decided to hand me that, but another 100 culture and 168 faith. Wasn't I meant to buy a great person? I kind of forgot because I was having too much fun just murdering everyone. Ooh, I could get another governor title. That seems pretty valuable in the long term. If I were to go... Well, I would need 2 to get Black Marketeer, which would allow me to mass produce frigates. So I might be better off looking for someone else. Maybe if I were to go for Embrasure on Victor to be able to produce units with a free promotion, or perhaps to go for Reina to get Harbour Master, which would double the adjacency from commercial hubs and harbours. And I think Reina is the right choice here. So I'm going to go ahead and... Ooh, universities are pretty good. But I'm going to go ahead and get that extra governor title, because that one seems pretty damn valuable to me. Ooh, this actually, I really want Raja Todar Mal because I'm doing a lot of internal trade routes, and this increases the amount of gold you get from your internal trade routes by 0.5 gold for each specialty district at the destination. So it's going to be really valuable for my economy. But I made a bit of a mistake because I bought Irene of Athens and I don't have a commercial hub built. Oops. So I'm going to have to prioritize the commercial hub, even though I really want to get the industrial zone right now. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We'll have to get that built and wait for this city to hit 13 population to get the industrial zone. But that's not the end of the world. Okay, not much to pillage along here. Am I at war with the Vatican City? I am at war with the Vatican City, so that means I can pillage here for health, swing down here, then pillage their mine and get some science and gold. Ooh, there's also a trade route hanging around over here, just popping that pinata for 200 gold. No farms are allowed, I'm sorry. Now, St. John... Here's the thing, if I were to take St. John, the loyalty in here might be a bit of a struggle, but what I'll do instead is I'll pillage that harbour and then maybe hit the city twice to see if I want to hold it and take it. If not, I can just take it and be annoying. I don't think I'll raise it, but I will pillage this mine as well. 100 science a mine, guys. That's an entire turn's worth of science for any player in the game. That's ridiculous. China still hasn't repaired a lot of their coastline, but it does look like a couple of their harbours are prime real estate for pillaging again. Hungary is kind of defending their coastline. Is there anything through here that I would want to pillage? No, I would need some sort of melee unit or horsemen to kind of jump on board their coastline to actually start pillaging some of this more valuable stuff. So I might just kind of swing back and play relatively defensively against Hungary and look for easy pillages elsewhere. I mean, I feel like I've done enough damage to Hungary for now, considering I actually stole one of their cities and I pillaged their government plaza. In fact, has that been repaired? It has not. +8 shipyard is worth buying. However, I would rather buy it in cities that are already weak, like, for example, Farakarawa, which would nearly double the production in here. In fact, more than double the production in here eventually. There it is, +15, went from 7 to 15, which is a huge jump. So I want to make sure that I'm buying my shipyards in places that I can easily justify, whereas I might just continue to produce caravels in here, because they take 3 turns, and a single caravel can do a ridiculous amount of pillaging. And I'm going to need a lot of caravels, because I'm going to be starting to combine new ones together with my old ones, once I have nationalism, and I can start to do corps and fleets. I will, however, pick up stave churches because they're worth 4 culture and 4 faith, which is really nice. And that's mainly down to the fact that I think I have Christianity in my cities, which gives me culture equal to the intrinsic faith output. And that's also going to give me +1 production on both of these fishing tiles. So this is actually a very high value building, considering it only takes 3 turns to build. So I am at war with the Mare, and I want to make sure I escort this settler out of here appropriately. Do I have a near full health guy that can pick him up? I think I do. So maybe you'll be safe right there. And if you're not, I do have 2 ships in range, because I want to go pillage these things right now, these mines, because they're extremely valuable. And I also want to pillage that one. That's 100 science and another 333 gold on both of those pillages. Brussels abandoned their plantation, 100 science and 168 faith. Yoink, another builder from China. The movement speed on my caravels is a little bit insane, actually. The sheer distance they can cover, and the fact that they can heal away from my territory is kind of insane as well. I'll level this guy up by capturing this. Now, the loyalty in here is a bit much. So I tell you what, I might keep the city. Look at the loyalty again. I would need to capture Winnipeg at the very least. And maybe Sidon and Lipquai, just to be able to hold these cities. So I don't mind if they flip independent a bit. The problem is going to be grievances and the proximity to enemy empires. Even this city over here is having a bit of trouble due to grievances. You can see here minus 8.5 because I've been heavily doing damage to the Maori. I might just let the city flip independent and spawn barbarians to be annoying against Canada, but I can swing down here and grab myself another campus pillage, which will finish industrialization for me, which will unlock coal for me. And I found some coal in St. John, as well as a chunk of coal in Kapiti, and a chunk of coal in Bergen. So there actually was coal here. That's really interesting that I got the boost for improving coal, even though I didn't know there was coal there. That sounds like a bit of a bug to me, but I mean, I'm going to take it anyway. Alrighty then. Now with industrialization, we would like to head towards steam power because ironclads are pretty good and we do have a little bit of coal. We also want to get the +2 movement for embarked units as well as access to the shipyard. I could go straight for electricity, which would give me access to submarines as well, although submarines aren't super useful for me. But having access to the shipyard would be really damn nice, especially in the certain cities that are working a lot of water tiles, like my capital. So I think I'll head up for electricity. Maybe I should pick up, although flight is a lot more techs away. So maybe I'll just head straight up for electricity and leave it at that for now. Let's hammer Winnipeg as well, because if we can capture the city, it'll do huge amounts of damage. I could maybe capture like triangle of cities in here, maybe try to hold on to them, we'll see. Now to settle another city, and we're going to pop it right down here. Not the like greatest city in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but it's in a decent spot. It'll be able to get a good harbor. It has some good coastal tiles. I'll get it to just, well, I guess what I could do. No, I want to save my gold for building shipyards because the value differential on shipyards is really good right now. So why don't you just build me a granary? Also, I have Hunt Sick Dracones, which means this guy started off with 4 population, which is really damn cool. Where is my next most valuable shipyard? I'm thinking actually Nidaros would be the right spot because it would make these coastal tiles just so ridiculously powerful to work. Like 2 food, 1 production, 1 gold, 1 science, 1 faith, and a culture. And if I get a seaport in here, it'll be another 2 gold on those tiles. Keep coastal raiding the Vatican City, picking up science and gold. China wants peace again. I'm not going to allow them to take peace. I kind of want to liberate Mohenjo-Daro. Kupe is targeted by an aggressive enemy. I mean, am I voting against myself here? I feel like who is at war with Kupe aside from me? Oh, it's a military aid request. I have minus 200 points for being at war with them. Let's keep pillaging and doing damage to units because I want to make sure that I'm top of the scoreboard in terms of damage dealt. I'm also going to grab myself a little pillage in here and hit that catapult. I want to get rid of that catapult actually, so let's get that done. Ooh, there's a lumber mill to pillage here as well, just like a little gold popping pinata there for all that money, as well as this commercial hub. Finally got the intelligence agency in here. I think China would be my best bet to steal from for gold, as long as they have... No, they don't have a commercial hub. They do have one here in Changsha, which is 872 gold. So I might want to avoid pillaging that so that I can keep stealing gold from it. Top tier strategies. We'll also pillage that. I feel like all I'm doing is running around pillaging things. Like pillage, coastal raid, bam. Pillage. Running that builder away. Now that we have the intelligence agency, we can get to work on the commercial hub so that we can actually like use the great people that I'm purchasing. Really want to place Irene for the extra governor title. Although speaking of which, I do already have a governor title. Now where do I want to put Reina? I want to ideally, this is the Empire map mode by the way, it shows you how good your adjacency on your districts are, which is really helpful. I want to put Reina in a city that has at least 4, maybe 5 adjacency on the harbours that have been built. And I feel like Oslo might be a good spot to put her. The only other one that really comes to mind is Papayan, which has a +5. Which would become a +15 with the card and Reina plugged in there, which would really help this city out actually. So I think I will assign her to Papayan. 1 turn away from finally having access to the frigate. Very happy about that. I'm going to capture the city with my ironclad, partially to give it more combat defensive strength, but partially also to get the +10, +10 experience on my ironclad. And I'll start attacking Montreal as well. We will keep the city for now, but the loyalty in here is still really bad. Although it's better. It's better. In fact, if I reassigned Reina to Winnipeg and reassigned Victor to St. John. I could hold both of these cities in terms of loyalty, at least for the short term. Although I am going to need more units down here as garrison. Skeedsmo is a city with a pretty low productivity, so I think a +6 shipyard in here will help a lot. All of the city's productivity will increase rapidly. And I'm really hoping that I win this Appease the Gods. And it looks like I did in fact win, so I should have gotten a free Soothsayer unit, or I'll get it next turn at least. Yoink, thank you for the campus. Trying to make a decision about where exactly I pillage. I think it's gotta be... this guy needs to pillage for health. And then attack there. I would like to attack and pillage, but I don't think I can do both. So I will just do the attack part of that. Or sorry, the pillage part of that, get the 300 gold, because that gold is really valuable to me. Where the hell is this settler going? I feel like I should settle for these 2 nighters here, because that's actually going to make it so that I can produce an insane amount of frigates. And it's probably about time that I got rid of the professional army card and plugged in conscription, because I think all of my army are upgraded. And I might actually even plug in retinues for a turn, just so that I can get this frigate online for half as much niter, which means I'll be able to start producing more frigates sooner. And since I did that, I should come back and quickly grab like a cheap civic to reset my government. I don't really want to pay the full price of what it costs in here to reset. Hey, there's Gobustan. Interesting. Looks like there's a pretty good little bit of pillaging on here. At least this commercial hub and this truffles as well I can pillage. Hey, looks like we failed the aid request. Now, Wilfrid Laurier is getting a lot of those diplomatic victory points. I'm going to want to keep an eye on him so he doesn't run away with the game. But at least for now, I can do some coastal raiding to keep my ships healthy in China. Not a whole lot going on here worth pillaging, I think. Ooh, if I could get around to all these great walls, I could get at least 3 of them. I think I have ships in the area, actually. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. There's Divine Right, which is going to allow me to reset my government. Plug out retinues, and I'm going to plug in conscription right now because I don't have units to upgrade. That's going to save me a significant amount of gold. And we can start working on nationalism again without any real interruption in our productivity. Yoink, thanks for the commercial hub. 345 gold in my bank. Kill you. I'm at war with Bologna. I wonder if they've done their repairs just yet. Looks like they have done a little bit of repairs, which is nice. They at least have this quarry that I can pillage again. Looks like my Soothsayers got a really, really good promotion. The Zealot promotion, which gives them +2 charges, which is going to mean that I can be a little bit more aggressive in how I use them to quote-unquote improve forests by setting them on fire. Speaking of improving forests by setting them on fire, I'm going to get a Soothsayer over here in Pesh as well. Oh, that's right, I have musketmen knee hangs. Trying to think where I would put those to good use. Possibly against Egypt, actually. If I were to swing back down here to grab crossbowmen and use frigates to actually shoot their cities, I could kill Egypt pretty quickly, although I might leave them on a single city, their capital, and then like decide to kill them later. I like that plan. I really, 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 really like that plan. So I'll finish this the steam power, come back for crossbowmen, and I'll start producing knee hangs in Memphis. Pillage. 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 Just pillaging Hungary to do damage to them. Now the Mare are a different story. They still have most of their stuff broken. They didn't actually repair all that much in the time it took me. But I can get a little bit of health and head on over to China and start doing some damage to them. I would love to get some boats in here, but I think this is actually encased by land. There's no way to get in here unless global warming increases and this ice at the bottom of the map retreats a bit. Let's grab ourselves another knee hang in Winnipeg, which will act as a battle unit against Canada. Yoink. Just completely ruined their tundra farm. I feel like that's the height of just being mean. Like, a tundra farm's not really that good, and it's not really doing any harm to anyone. This guy wants to give me some pretty good stuff here, actually. He would give me a great work, a little bit of gold, and he would cede Papayan to me. Let me have a look and see if that's worth it, because I might be able to do more damage to him. If I can't really do any more damage to someone, I might take peace with them, just to let my grievances decay a little bit. Right, there is steam power, super useful. Let's have a look at Gran Colombia. I think I've more or less pillaged all of Gran Colombia's coastline that I can get access to. So I think it's a good idea to make peace with them, see if I can extract some value. Yeah, they'll give me that great work as well as some of this stuff. I'll take that peace with you. Canada now. Is it worth it to peace with Canada? I don't think it is worth it to peace with Canada, possibly forever. Purely because I want to take their cities. I will keep this as well. I don't know if loyalty is still an issue in Winnipeg. I can't really do a whole lot more damage to Canada except for hitting their fishing boats, which I guess is quite a bit. I could maybe try to advance with Nihangs in here, but that's like 200 faith per turn to produce Nihangs. Although on the same token, I do kind of want to level these units up. Have the Stave Church in Bergen now, providing me with these beautiful turtle tiles. Question is, I think I might hard build the shipyard in here. It's +8 and it'll save me about 1,000 gold from having to build it manually, because I would much rather purchase the one in Oslo with gold, because that one's a +10 great shipyard. Oh my god, Canada, you silly fool. You built your government plaza all the way down here in the south. I didn't even see that till now. It's basically just handing me a bunch of free culture. Thanks. Just slip my little caravel in here and pillage some science from these industrial zones. Yoink. Oh my god, the amount of gold you get from pillaging Great Walls is insane. Running out of places to pillage. Oh, you guys repaired your mine over here. I'm not at war with Jerusalem anymore? Well, that needs to be fixed. Unless I can go to war with their suzerain. They don't have a suzerain. I mean, I guess I could take them for myself. Ooh, I definitely want to put another envoy into Antioch for that +2 gold in every shipyard. And speaking of shipyards, I just pillaged enough gold to grab the shipyard in Oslo, which will massively increase the productivity in here up to 32 from about 20. Yeah, I think I'm going to declare war on Jerusalem so that I can continue to pillage gold and science from them. It's just that valuable. Like, the pillaging is so much more valuable than like the like having an envoy in them. All right, let's go ahead and light these forests on fire again. It is killing population, but the population regrows so quickly because of the amount of food we're working in here that that's really not a big deal. I should not be producing an ironclad. Actually, I can afford a couple of ironclads, I think. Pretty safely here. I'll probably get 4 ironclads. Let me double check. Yeah, I have 3 in production, but I don't want any more than 4. I should maybe have not unlocked ironclads because I wanted to combine all my caravels together to get more mileage out of them. I mean, if you consider 2 caravels combined together to make a unit that's 65 melee strength, which is only slightly weaker than an ironclad, but doesn't actually use any strategic resources, it's a little bit more expensive to do it that way, but I think that's fine. Settle a city over here. I'll also purchase a builder in here to get these niter tiles online, because that'll mean even more frigates. And I think that's what I'm going to start producing after these ironclads are done, just mass production of frigates. Oh, yoink. See ya. 345 gold in my bank. Looks like I found Barbarian Island. I will want to settle this eventually, but I think right now it's not a priority. And I think I've more or less pillaged everything that China has to offer, with the exception of this theater square over here. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get access to that while they have that settler sitting there. So I might piece China out and just wait for their grievances to reduce a little bit, as well as extort them for a bit of their cash. Actually, I'm wondering, would you be willing to give up Mohenjo-Daro? No, it looks like you won't give up Mohenjo-Daro. That's not a big deal. Instead, I'll just take a bit of gold off you and let your grievances decay. Speaking of crossbowmen, there's the cash for crossbowmen. I'm gonna spend the full money here. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, I guess it is kind of a big deal. It's a lot of money to spend extra, but it means I don't have to mess around with switching out my cards. And I'll be ready to move in with Nihangs and crossbowmen. And ideally, this frigate and small caravel army over here as well. I don't know if I'm going to take Rakadet, but I think Nekin and Iwin are definitely the sort of prime rib on the menu. I could go for flight, and that would be a lot of teching on the way up there. Or I could go for military science and get better knee hangs. And I think that's going to be a bit more of an immediate improvement to my combat ability, because I'm going to start to need a bit of a land army to actually compete with the AI. That's why I'm producing knee hangs over here in Canada. Also, I think I've thoroughly pillaged Hungary's coastline. I'm not really seeing much. There's a holy site there. I guess I could grab that. Oh, and he actually repaired this harbor in here, which I can grab too. Oh, and there's actually quite a bit left to pillage from Hungary now that I look at it in a little bit more depth. So we'll stay at war with Hungary for the foreseeable future and keep doing damage to their infrastructure by pillaging everything they have. Yoink, thanks to the 172 culture, I appreciate that. Wonderful, we just finished our very first commercial hub, getting a ton of era score for it because it has a high adjacency. We'll get another governor title. And I'm kind of tempted to promote Liang here with the Harbour Master, which I think is the right move. I don't think I need this market, and I really want that industrial zone. Although the question is, do I build the aqueduct or I just go straight industrial zone? If I throw it adjacent to the coast, actually, I could maybe go for the Venetian arsenal, which seems like everything that I was saying I hated in all of my tier lists is coming back to bite me in the ass because now they're incredibly useful. I'm actually going to wait for nationalism until I declare war on Egypt because I think that's going to unlock the colonial war against them. Hungary wants peace and he'll give me a pretty good deal. I'm going to hold off on peace with Hungary because there still is quite a bit left to pillage against him. Canada wants peace too, and he'll cede these cities, but I actually want to refuse this deal because these cities are going to be really hard to hold on with loyalty while I'm at peace with Canada. It's kind of paradoxical, but it's actually easier to hold cities sometimes when you're at war. I know for a fact if I peaced out Canada, all of these cities would start flipping independent. Got a bit of a problem in St. John. Let's grab ourselves a knee hang in here to help out. At long last, we can start the production of our very first frigates, thanks to the multiple copies of niter that we have online. Now, there is a card that can increase the amount of niter that you're producing from your tiles, but I don't think I have that unlocked yet. I think that's available somewhere along here. There it is. It's at mercantilism. All improved sources of niter and coal yield one additional resource. I might want to plug that in at some point. I think for now I'm pretty happy with my government as it stands. You can see here, Tromsø is now worth 4 food and 5 production, which is a really damn good internal trade route yield. If I could get my hand on, if I could get my hands on Raja Todar Mal, it would be even better. Let's get rid of this caravel and then go back to pillaging the Jerusalem tiles like that. Boom, 300 gold. Thank you. I think I crippled this city's gold income because I'm pretty sure this used to be like 800. Either way, let's just have a look and see if there's a better city to steal from. No, I'm pretty sure I just basically crippled... Oh, Hunza, actually. Hunza makes nearly 700 gold per turn. Or per steal, rather. Yoink, 345 gold in the bank. Nothing else to pillage here in Brussels, but that's fine. I'm going to keep some ships in position, scouting my enemies. Yoink, thank you. I think there's stuff to pillage down here, too. Yeah, there's an iron mine there and a quadrireme to murder. Beautiful, there's nationalism giving me a little bit of era score, but more importantly, it opens up chances for me to combine my units together in interesting ways. I'm trying to figure out which of these guys it would be better to combine. I think it's better if I jump you into the water and then combine you into him like that. That'll give me a bit of era score, make these guys stronger, and keep them alive inside the city. Oh my goodness. These knee hangs are strong, but these swordsmen with all these combat buffs are actually on par combat strength wise when they're in terrain. That is ideal. Nothing for it but to keep producing knee hangs. I know I want to get that trader, but that's not super important to me as of yet, in particular because I want to go to war with Egypt because she's going to be worth a lot of faith to pillage. I do not quite qualify for the colonial war. Is it colonialism? I assume that has to be it. No, apparently I do have the colonial war casus belli. She's not 2 eras behind me technologically. She's only one era behind me. If I was able to research electricity, I could maybe declare colonial war. It's not that big of a deal, right? It's fine. Just, it would be really nice to get the discount. Oh well, we'll declare a regular ass formal war on her and then start sweeping in for pillages on her tiles. Should I combine these crossbowmen together? That was not what I wanted to do. I'll tell you what, I'll take a shot with you and then combine. Getting the best of both worlds there, and then I'll combine with you. Like so. And I'll get myself another Nihang in here. Now, my first frigate is going to step forward, kill that crossbowman. We're going to swoop in and start pillaging all of these delicious coastal tiles, because tiles are relatively easy to repair, but the value I get from pillaging is just so high that I find it hard to justify not pillaging them. With nationalism, we can start on mercantilism and head towards colonialism to pick up the extra envoys, and most importantly, the extra production from fishing ships, which I have a lot of. I also have a chance to sweep in here and get some extra pillages off of extremely high value. Lovely. Look at that. To put in perspective how good these trade routes are, this is a 4 food, 5 production trade route, and that's like literally half of this city's production. Now, considering this is a city that I've put no investment into, a single trader is what, 90 production? To get that back in, what, 90 divided by 5 is, what, 18 turns that this trader will pay itself off in with this trade route? It's ridiculous. Let us pillage, and do I want a coastal raid? I think I'd like to run around and maybe get a farm pillage off first before I get in any of that sort of shenanigans. We'll also pillage that for a little bit of extra faith. I need as much faith as possible right now, because my army is kind of fueled by faith at the moment. Look at this brand new city. It doesn't even have a trade route in it, but with the double niter and double fish, it has 10 production per turn. And this is like settled just a few turns ago. It was settled in the amount of time it took me to run a builder and improve these 4 tiles. Like, it's just insane how good you can get your cities up and running with the Hicksont Dracones and a little bit of an economy behind you. Brussels has not recovered in all the time that I have left them alone, which is really surprising. I would have thought they would have re-improved their stuff. They haven't even really rebuilt their harbour. I wonder what the hell they've been building. I don't want to waste my turn killing a Soothsayer when there's so much more pillaging to be done on this coastline. Hello, another pillage right here, 358 gold. Don't mind if I do. Another pillage here for 358 gold, lovely. But I will tell you what, we shall call it there. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!